This video will show you how to use WebXtender imaging without logging in to Banner9 through Application Navigator. So you would first go to the my.bryant.edu portal and log in. On the main screen, you will see this staff box with a link in the box for WebXtender imaging. You will click on that to launch WebXtender. You will now enter in your network credentials and click Sign In. When you first come into WebXtender, it will bring you to the search box, and it will have listed to the left-hand side any applications that you have security to. So your list of applications may be different what is shown here on the screen. If you wanted to now begin creating a batch and importing in documents, the first thing you need to do is cancel out of this query screen. Once you do that, you will then see some buttons up in the upper right-hand corner. The first button is where you will click on the arrow next to that, and you will see three options: upload a new document, upload a new batch, or manage batches. To begin to create a batch, the first thing you're going to want to do is click on Upload New Batch. You want to make sure that the batch is going into the application that you want it to. So if you're doing backup documents for requisitions or invoices, you would want to be in the BF Docs application. Then you could give it a name. This is a temporary name, so you can have it be whatever you would like. What I've done here is I'm going to put documents on this rec number, so I chose to put it in as part of the batch name. You don't need to put a description in, and then you're going to click on Choose Files in order to get the files that you want to bring in to do your batch. So I'm going to select two files. So I'm clicking on the first, holding on my Shift key on the keyboard, and clicking on the last one. If I'd had 5 or 6 documents there, you can click on the first, hold the Shift key, click on the last one in the list, it will select them all. And then click Open. It will say here, 2 files, and that's what I'm expecting it to say. And now you would click Upload. Now you can see what it's doing is displaying to you the first page of the 13 pages that I have in this batch. Now to begin indexing this first page, you would notice you now have a batch section on the toolbar. The very first button is for a new document. This is the button you would click in order to begin indexing this first page. Once you click on it, the index values will open up on the right-hand side of the screen, and this is where you can put in your document number. So I'm going to put in that rec number. Then you would click out of that box, and it will then populate many of the fields. You'll notice the ones that are required have a red asterisk next to them. The only one you now need to fill in is what document type this is. So with requisitions, you're often then choosing that this is the rec backup documents. And now you would click Save. Now what it has done is says indexed page 1 out of the 13 pages. So now if you look up on the page section of the toolbar, you're now at page 1 of 12 because it has indexed that first page. Now if you would like page 2 to be added to that same index because it belongs with it, you can click Attach Current Page under the page toolbar. And you'll notice that the number of pages keeps decreasing as you're indexing the pages. So say I know the first 3 pages belong to that index. So now I attach this current page so that page 3 gets indexed. Now when I get to page 4, it could be that this now exists for a different document type. So in order to get a new index, I'm now going to go back to the batch and say create another document. I'm going to click on that button. What it does now is it begins with a new index value here on the right side of the screen. So now I know this is going to exactly the same rec So I could type in the document ID right here again and tab out so it would fill all the fields. Or there's also a button up here called Last Modified Indexes. If you click that, it will fill in everything for you. And then the one thing you need to do is just change the rec backup docs to say it was that you now knew that this was like a direct cash receipt, if it was something else that you wanted this to be indexed to. And then you can click Save. Now that page 4 got indexed to that same rec, but with a different document type. You may not have this kind of process to happen when you're doing the recs, but I wanted to show you that you are able to do that as well. So now say for this index value, and this is page 5, and there's 9 left, say you knew that the rest of the pages all went to that index value. Then you have the button here that says Attach All Pages. And that's what you would do. You would attach all pages, and it gives you a pop-up saying all pages will be attached. Do you want to proceed? And you can say, okay, yes, I want those all to be indexed. And then what it's telling you is now you've done everything in the batch. Now what do you want to do? Do you want to start doing another batch? Do you want to import a new batch? Return to that front application page? Or do you want to view what you just indexed? Or you could log out of Application Extender. It's your choice. So what we're going to do is we're going to return to the application page. So what that means is it brought us back to the beginning where the search page was. So now, if I did want to search on that rec, I could put that rec number in, and I can click Run, and it will search. And now what it does is it's showing in the query results the 2 different document types that I had just indexed. I'd indexed the rec backup documents, and I'd indexed the direct cash receipt. Now if I go in, I want to view this, I can click on that little icon there and I can view the pages. And you can see it's 1 of 3 pages. And I can page through each page. If I wanted to see the index values, I can go over to the right-hand side, click on that blue arrow to expand and display the index, and then I can click it again to make it small. If I go back to the query results, and let's say we go to the direct cash receipt document type, and we click on that to view them all, and we can see it's 10 pages. And say, for example, you went through this and you realized that you should not have done these pages. You're on page 4 through 10. They did not belong to this index. What you can do is you can move them out of this and make another batch. If you go up to Document, and you say Copy or Move Pages, what it will then do is say, what document pages do you want to either copy or move? So say, for example, you're saying you want pages 4 through 10. Those did not belong to that index. They need to go to another document. Then you would say 4 through 10. You're going to have it make this batch in the BF Docs application, and it defaults in for the batch name, the person who's logged in with the date and the time. So you can either wipe that out or you could add to it and say, oh, it should go, and you could put like your rec number that you wanted as well. And then it is, if you wanted to just copy them into the batch, you can, but if it's because you know they don't belong there, you choose Move. This option will only work for those people that have the delete privilege. If you don't have the delete privilege, you won't be able to do this feature. Okay, so now you can see it's only pages 1 through 3 that belong to this index. That was the direct cash receipt. It's no longer 10 pages long. So if we go back to the main application, so we're here at the search screen, and we want to now go look at our batches. So you need to click Cancel to get out of the search. And now the buttons appear in the upper right hand corner, and you'll click up on the arrow next to that folder, and you're going to click on Manage Batches. This will give you the list of batches that are sitting out there in the BF Docs application waiting to be indexed. And you can see the very first one listed here is the batch that we just created by moving those pages out of that other index value and placing them into a batch. To begin indexing it, you can click on this blue arrow and then choose Index. Now it has brought here the rest of those pages with a brand new index value to begin indexing. And so if you realized these should really be on that on the rec backup documents. So you would choose that and you would click Save. And now what happens is you're going to get the error where it says unable to save the document index, a unique key violation has occurred. And that's fine. You want it to tell you that it already exists because you want to just add these pages. So you click OK, and then you're going to go up here to the buttons that are above the index. You're going to choose the Select Index button. And you're going to say, yes, I want them to go, if this is the one where you want it to go to the rec backup docs that already exist there, the one that, as you can see, was done earlier, and you're going to click the button right in front that says Attach. You click Attach, and it now has put that first page 1 of 7, so it did the first one, so now it says 1 of 6, and it attached it to that index. And if you want to say, yep, all of these pages should now go to that index, you would say OK, and it has now indexed all of those. So if we return to the application page, and if we did another query on that rec and clicked Run, you'll see here it's got the 2, and the number of pages is located at the end here. You can see there's only 3 pages for the direct cache receipt, and there's 10 now instead for the rec backup docs. And this is how you can do imaging and indexing of batches in WebXtender. Thank you.